name is Dawn Keene from the Center for Health and Healing. I've had some requests to do some hip opener classes. So today I'm going to do a hip opener class. Just so you know, hip openers, the way I teach it, they're all different ways and all are great. I use long, slow holds. Our hips are an area where it's said to be where we store our emotions. Often the kind of emotions that we keep hidden deep down, like anger, anxiety, sadness, or frustration. So working on these deep tissues in our hip opener asanas can release both physical and emotional tension. So it's okay to place, so it's more on working on the breath and letting go while you're in these long holds. So let's make our way into a comfortable position, lying down. We're going to bring the soles of our feet to touch. In the studio, I'll be using 2 sandbags, so I'll just show you how we place them. When you're in the pose, I will be sitting up and doing some readings. So soles of feet touching, the sandbag weighs 8 to 10 pounds. Hold opposite elbows overhead. Now relax the jaw, open the lips, part the lips, and move the lower jaw side to side. Bring your lips to stillness. Invite the shoulders to soften. And now invite the hips to soften. Deep breath in, and let's exhale out our mouth 3 times in a sigh. Inhale. Exhale it out, open mouth. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale it out. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Now you could be here anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And after that pose, bring the knees into the chest. Take your right middle and index finger on your right kneecap. Your left middle and index finger on your left kneecap. Open the knees wide. Push them away. Fingertips are barely touching. Bring them together and bring them back to the heart space. Continue on your own, moving super slowly. This pose targets the hips and low back. So perhaps coordinating breath with movement. Inhale as you open the body. Exhale as you close the body upon itself. Take your time here. So the fascia, that's that white fibrous tissue that encases the muscles, doesn't have a lot of blood supply. So we want to create a little bit of internal heat to match that external heat. Good. Reverse direction. We're creating some internal heat so that we can warm up the fascia and get a little stretch like taffy. Good. Just a few more times like this. You can see the lower body's doing all the work. Fingertips are barely touching them. Good. And stop at center. Now, let's put the left foot down. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. Pick up the left knee. Put your hands up. Thread the needle. Flex both feet. Push the back of the right and left shoulder down. On the exhale, direct that left knee towards the left shoulder. On the push that right knee away. Good. Keep breathing. Soften the face, relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. Release that left leg. Take that right middle and index finger on the right kneecap, left middle and index finger on the left hip bone, and make a couple of circles with that right bent knee. Reverse direction. In the studio, I usually teach this class an hour and 15 minutes. an hour is hard to get it all in. So this is a mini class. So I won't be holding the pose as long as I normally would in the class, in the studio itself. Good. Beautiful. And now coming into that half a happy baby. So you can hold on to the foot. You can use a man's tie bathrobe, or just pull it on down. So you want the sole of the foot straight up to the ceiling. If you want to, you can bend that left knee and push that foot into the mat for a little extra traction, whatever suits you. I like to use the sandbag, and I like to put the sandbag on the arch of the foot. This has two handles. You just pull it on down. So the leg wants to wing out. Pull it in, maintain that alignment, and just soften the shoulders. Breathe into the stretch. Remember, oh my is okay. Oh God is not. So if it starts feeling too much, you just release it. Slowly we'll come out of that pose. Good. Doing the other side. Good. So threading the needle. This is reclined pigeon. Relax both shoulders down. Breathing into this stretch. Back of the neck is long. On the inhale, guide that right knee to the right shoulder. On the exhale, guide that left knee away from the body. Both feet are active. Both back to the shoulders, pushing into your mat. And breathing deeply. It's all about the breath. Inhale, say to yourself, let. And exhale, say to yourself, go. Release that. Now, right middle and index finger on the right hip bone, left middle and index finger on that left kneecap. Make a couple of circles. Keep all your thoughts positive and compassionate. Irritation and annoyance often comes up to me during hip opener classes. Acknowledge it, note it, breathe into it, and then let it go. Keep inviting softness in. Keep allowing. Keep releasing. So there's many layers of letting go. Finding additional layers today around these hips. Good. Hug it in, and then come to that happy baby on this side. Remember, you can use your hands, the strap, the sandbag, and just pull it on down. So find what variation you like. I'm a fan of the sandbags. And just pull it on down. Remember, right leg could be straight, or you can bend the knee and push the sole of your foot down for a little extra traction, whatever option you like. You can inhale for a count of anywhere from 6 to 10 and make your exhale the same number that you inhaled. One side will be easier than the other. Quieting the mind, using your breath as a tool here. Try to make your holds for 2 to 3 minutes. lot of work going on mentally and emotionally. Try not to run from it in your mind. Embrace it. Be with it. Good. And now making our way to a seated position. Good. Beautiful. Coming to our bound angle, I like to use the block here. So putting the block, putting putting your feet up on the block, soles of your feet to touch, and just sit up tall. Remember, it starts off easy. And now inhale, exhale, bringing your forehead, staying here is just fine. Or if you want to bring your forehead to your toes, go ahead. Beautiful. And you can stay there for a few extra moments, whatever feels good. Now sitting in our easy pose, hands are on the knees, and we're going to come right into our trunk rolls. Remember, the lower you come to the ground, the more you involve your hips and your low back. So on a psychological level, the muscles of the hips have a relationship with our flight response. We are born with the reflex action that activates the hip flexors and brings us into a fetal position when we feel threat. Reverse direction, one of the hip flexors is the psoas, and it's connected to the diaphragm. So tightness here can lead to restrictions in the breath. Everything is connected. On a psychological level, how we approach hip openers can be a mirror of how we approach other challenges in our lives. Hip openers require a softening and surrendering into the pose, staying present, staying with the breath. This can be tough, but it is worth it. Good. Great job. And come on back. Now let's separate our feet. So my feet are hip distance. Windshield wiper over to the right. Try to bring both hips down. They may or may not touch. Good. And now windshield wiper over to the left. Great. Over to the right. Over to the left. Come back to center. Now let's come into our baby cradle. So let's just pick that right leg up first, just point and flex. And now bending that knee for our baby cradle. Again, you can put that foot in the two hands. You could put that foot in the crook of your elbow. Flex both feet and just sit up tall. So we want a straight line from the knee and the ankle. We want to relax the shoulders. Good. Stop in stillness. Now take that foot in the hand, the other hand on the thigh, and just pull that knee in, almost like we did when we were in that happy baby. So hip openers, poses help to soften and loosen the joints around the hips. They also keep the pelvis, hips in proper alignment, preventing strain and tightness in this area. Good. Beautiful. Let's come to that seated twist. Beautiful. And release, shake it out. Other side, picking that left leg up, relax the shoulders. Stretch the hamstring as that goes right up to our hip. Now, again, for our baby cradle, take the foot in the two hands or put it in the crook of the elbow. This is my easier side because I've had a knee replacement 4 years ago. I hardly even know I have it. Good. And sit up super tall. So we're so very aware of our breath and our postures. So as emotions and feelings come up, just allow Let them just wash over you. Try not to get hung up in them. Good. Stop at center, hug it in tight. And then take that foot to the other side of the knee. Take that right arm, wrap it around. Left hand, right wrist. Sit up tall. Look eye level over that shoulder. Counter twist to the other side. Now I'm going to use 2 blocks here. I'm going to put them on the high side. I'm going to come into my tabletop, but I have the blocks ready for when I need them. Now let's come into a wide-legged child with both big toes touching, knees outside of your mat, and come all the way down. Pushing your butt back towards your heels. Big breath in, exhale it out. This pose invites the whole central nervous system to relax. Good. Come back to center. Now we're going to move our hips. So imagine you have that spatula on either side of the brownie batter bowl, bringing the hips all the way to the right, all the way to the back, all the way to the left, and forward with straight arms. Turn to the side so you can see me a little better. We're just making those huge circles. Take your time. This is a feel-good pose. Don't miss any part of the circle. Take your time. When you're ready, reverse direction. Remember, this is a mini class, so I'm not holding the things as long as I would in a regular class. Good. One more time around. And then make your way into your tabletop position, hands and knees. We're going to come into that runner's lunge, low runner's lunge. So my right knee is over my ankle. I'm going to find the blocks, bring them back by the hips, and I'm going to sink low. So I'm feeling a big opening in the front of the left hip flexor. Keep that knee over the ankle and sink low. If you want to bring that right arm up and sink it back and switch sides. Keep bringing that left hip close to the earth. Good. And now you're going to rock back for a half a split. Bringing the forehead close to the shin. Inhale it up. Raise those arms up. Exhale, rock it back. Half a split. Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to come into our lizard pose. So where you can use your block and place your forearms on a block. You can pick up that back knee. You can move away the block, which is a little bit more intense, but whatever option you like. This is high lizard, this is low lizard. So we want our right knee to touch our shoulder and just rock forward and back a couple of times. Putting that left knee down. Now I'm going to turn the bottom of the foot towards the sky. I'm going to take my left hand to my left hip. I'm going to look to my left thigh, right hand to right thigh, and look over the right shoulder. If you want a little bit more, take that right hand to the left foot, hold on to the big toe, left forearm on the ground, and turn your chest towards the sky. Big quad stretch. Slowly unwind yourself. Good. Now, if you want to, you could come to a full split or just find your edge wherever that wants to be. So just wiggle that foot forward and come on down. Slowly release before we do the other side, turning both feet towards the wall. Sit up tall, moving your blessings away from your sits bones. Lean back just to make a little bit more space. And then hinge all the way forward. This is fine. or come all the way down, whatever suits you. But each inhale, flex the feet. Each exhale, hinge from the hips. Soften in between the shoulder blades. Slowly, when you're ready, walk it on up. Take your hands to the outside of the legs, bring them together, and shake it out. You can have a drink of water before we do the other side. Find your blocks. Come to that high runner's lunge on this side. So my left foot's going to be forward, my right knee is going to be down, and we're sinking low. So you really want to feel this stretch now in the front of the right hip. So keep that left knee over the ankle, bring the blocks back, and relax the shoulders. So you're just working with gravity here, willing that right hip closer to the earth. So inhale, let, exhale, go. So you want to facilitate a long stretch. Now you could take that right arm up and back. Good. Switch. Beautiful. Slowly make your way down. Now we're going to come on up. Bring the arms up. Exhale, pick up the toes and bring your forehead close towards your shin. 2 more times. Inhale it up, sink low. Exhale, rock it back. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Now you're going to come forward for that lizard pose. So you're going to, this is a high lizard. Curl those knees, rock back and forth. You can place your forearms on a block, as I demonstrated on the other side, or a little bit more intense, come onto the forearms. So ideally your knees really close to the shoulder. Now drop that back knee, turn the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling, taking the left hand to the left thigh and turn your chest towards the sky. A little bit more is to take that hand, reach back to the foot, come on to the right forearm, turn your whole chest towards the sky. Good. Wherever you're at, unwind. And now, if you want to come into your split or any variation of that, just wiggle that foot forward and then come on down. You can release the blocks, you can come on down. And beautiful. Stay there as long as you like. And when you're ready, come on up to a seated position. Rolling those shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, down. And now, since you did it on the other side, coming to your wide-legged forward fold, moving those blessings away from your sits bones, lean back for a little bit of a back bend, and then hinge all the way forward. No forcing, no rushing. You want to melt like ice cream on a warm day into the pose. When you're ready, slowly walk it on up, bringing the soles of your feet to touch, and just butterfly the legs. Good. Great job. Now, making your way into your tabletop position. You're plenty warmed up after that. let's take that right leg out and just make some big fire hydrant circles. Really working those hip joints and all the surrounding area. Good. Place that down. Other side. Good. And release. Now, let's walk our hands forward. We're going to come into our first down dog, upside down V. Really push the back of the legs back. Now you're going to bring that right leg up. You're going to come into your pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotanasana. So in the middle, when this leg is here, that's called swan. Ideally in pigeon, you want the knee close to the edge of the mat, and you want to flex this right foot, push the left pinky toe down, and now inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, hinge on forward. In an ideal scenario, your shin lines up with your collarbones. So flex that foot and come on down. Here, if you have the sandbag, which I happen to like, this has handles, you can just bring it onto your low back if you like. If that's not for you, don't use it. So just melt on down. In this pose, we usually hold this for 3 to 5 minutes, and I have a yoga story for us. Fluid like a river, the journey of water as it flows upon the earth can be a mirror of our own paths through life. Water begins its residence as it falls from the earth and melts from ice and cascades down the mountain into a tributary or a stream. In the same way, we come into the world and begin our lives on earth. Just like the river that flows within the confines of its banks, we are born with certain defining characteristics that govern our identity. We are born in a particular time and place into a specific family, and with certain gifts and challenges. Within these parameters, we move through life, encountering many twists and turns and obstacles along the way, just as a river flows. Water is a great teacher. It shows us how to move through the world with grace, ease, determination, and humility. When the river breaks at a waterfall, it gains energy and moves on. As we encounter our own waterfalls, we may fall and fall hard, but always keep going. Water can inspire us not to become rigid with fear or hold on to what's familiar. Water is brave. It doesn't waste time clinging to the past, but flows onward without looking back. At the same time, when there's a hole to be filled, water doesn't flee from it, fearful of the dark. Instead, it humbly and bravely fills the empty space. In the same way, we can face the dark moments of life rather than running from them. Eventually, a river will empty into the sea. Water doesn't hold back from anything, from joining into a larger body, nor does it fear a loss of identity or control. It gracefully and humbly tumbles into the vastness by contributing its energy and merging without resistance. Each time we move beyond our individual egos to become larger of something else, we can try to follow the lead of the river. And when you're ready, Slowly come up, releasing the sandbag if you were using one, bringing that right foot up, left to meet the right, and making yourself right into a squatting garland position. Again, if you want to sit on a block, go right ahead. If not, sitting in that garland position. So adjust, lean back. You can rock side to side. You can use your elbows to nudge those knees over. And reconnect to the breath here. Take a few moments. You can close the eyes. Notice how the body feels from the inside out. So we're releasing mental struggle that comes up when we're in these long holds. We're inviting in patience and gratitude for right where our bodies are today. Release that. And now step back to your down dog. Walk it out. You might feel a little achy after that. That's okay. And now bringing that left leg up to the sky and come into your pigeon on this side. Eka, Hara, Raja, Kapha, Tanasana. Good. That's a mouthful. That's pigeon in Sanskrit. So we're going to come onto our right toes and bring them back. Scooch them back. Bring that left foot forward. Flex that foot. Look back at the right foot and make sure the pinky toe is pushing down, because sometimes our foot likes to sickle in or sickle out. So flex that foot. Find that space, lean back, allow space in here, and then come on down. So melting on down in this pose. So one side might be okay with the sandbag, and the other side might say, heck no, that's okay. So find where you want to be. Put yourself in that position. This is my easier side. And then make yourself comfortable. I'm going to come into our yoga story. Helps me to stay in the pose. Peeling away the layers. Trees shed their bark. Trees grow up through their branches and down through their roots into the earth. They also grow wider with each passing year. As they do, they shed their bark that served to protect them, but is no longer big enough to contain them. In the same way, we create boundaries and develop defenses to shield ourselves, and at a certain point, we outgrow them. If we do not allow ourselves to shed our protective layer, we cannot expand into our full potential. Trees need their protective bark, able to protect the delicate process of growth and renewal to unfold without threat. Likewise, we must have our own boundaries and defenses so that our more vulnerable parts of ourselves can safely heal and unfold. But our growth also depends upon our ability to soften, to loosen, to discard boundaries and defenses that we no longer need. It is often the case in life that structures we put into place to help us grow eventually become constricting. Unlike a tree, we must consciously decide when it is time to shed our bark and expand our boundaries so that we can move to the next ring of growth. Many spiritual teachers have suggested that our egos do not disappear so much as they become large enough to hold more than our sense of self. The boundary of self widens to contain people and beings other than just us. Each time we shed a layer of defenses or ease up on a boundary that we no longer need, we are metaphorically becoming bigger people. Slowly release the sandbag if you have it. Good. Swing that right leg forward, coming into that garland squat position. This is a great pose for the hip opener. Move those feet a little wider and sit up tall. Good. And looking happy, this is yoga. Beautiful. You can place the right hand down, raise that left arm up, switch. This is just a little bit of a distraction while you're in this intense hip opener. Good. One more. And release that. Good job. Now, for our relaxation, we're still going to involve the hips. So I like to use the sandbag and a block. I'm going to sit back. Make sure you can see me. So you're going to sit back against the wall. Put the block between your feet. I'm going to start off with the stripe towards the ceiling, the sandbag on top of that. Pull the feet in and then sit up tall. Good. Roll those shoulders back and close the eyes. If you have alternate nostril breathing in your practice, now is the time. So we'll use Gyan Mudra, individual and universal symbol knowledge, with our left hand. The other three fingers representing the three gunas, Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamastic, pointing them at the earth. And then sitting up tall, let's use Vishnu Mudra, taking your pointer and middle finger, both have a negative meaning at times, towards your palm, and bring the other fingers together. Sit up tall. We're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, close off the right, exhale for 8, out the left. Inhale for 4 in the left. Close off the left, exhale for 8, out the right. Inhale for 4 in the right. Close off the right and exhale for 8, out the left. Inhale for 4 in the left. Close off the left. Exhale for 8, out the right. Now continue that on your own. If you lose count, just start anew, start afresh. Keep sitting up tall in good posture and keep pushing the soles of your feet rather active into the blocks. Two more rounds. Next time you exhale out the left nostril, remove both hands, take it out, shake it out, and come back. We're going to do one more. So you can either do the middle width or the biggest width. So choose which option are okay for your body at this moment. Sitting up tall, reapply the sandbag or not, and just sit up tall. So find yourself in that semi-comfortable position. Close the eyes. Now this time placing the right hand on the stomach and the left hand on the upper chest. Imagine you're pushing those knees down towards the earth. Inhale, push into the belly. Let's try to make that all the way to 10. Then exhale, draw that belly in as you exhale out the nose for 10. So close the eyes and just continue with the breath. Life precedes us breath by breath. Deep, full, even breathing is the key to cultivating inner peace. Breath by breath, choose to stay present. It isn't success you are seeking, but surrender to the flow of energy. It isn't control that matters, but letting go. Allowing life exactly as it is in this moment. Breath by breath, choose to stay present. Tend the breath, let the rhythm slow and settle you, filling and emptying. Drawing the outside in and then release. Simplicity and ease. Nothing to do but breathe. So now, you can remove the block and the sandbag, shake it out. Put yourself in a comfortable position. You can sit or lay down. For the next few breaths, as I say inhale, inhale in the nose, fill up the whole body. And then as I say exhale, exhale out open mouth and a sigh. So let's inhale joy. Exhale out any sadness. Inhale love. And exhale out any self-doubts. Inhale compassion for yourself and others. And exhale out any judgment for yourself or others. Inhale awareness. And exhale out any tensions. Inhale trust. And exhale out any fears. Inhale peace. And slowly exhale peace. And be at peace. Sit with this peace for a few moments. Bring movement back to the body if you're not in a seated, comfortable position. Sukhasana, easy pose, bring yourself there. Good. Take a moment to thank yourself. Happy hips till next time. Great job. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Live your life authentically, wholeheartedly, based on love, not fear, knowing there are no limits or boundaries to to what you can do when listening to your own inner guidance, your own inner voice. Embrace every experience as a blessing, whether good or bad. Stay grateful for the simple things in life and do your best to stay positive every day, no matter what circumstances you may face. Namaste. Namaste.